This is a 2003 BMW M3. A pretty good leak on it. Try to figure out why. If you guys can help me out here. So I'll go over the top of it, but here's the bottom, and I'll go over in more detail. I'm doing a video because pictures are hard to get all the detail. Hopefully this is better. So the clutch was replaced about a year ago by a dealer. But here you have some red fluid. I'm guessing that's power steering. Or maybe transmission fluid. That was replaced by me not too long ago. I don't know. Most of the oil I find on the ground is black, so I think it's actually gonna be engine oil. So it goes all the way down towards the midsection of the exhaust. Pretty nasty stuff. There's I don't know what this is. I'm sure it has something to do with the clutch, but this is pretty wet. So I'm wondering if I need to tighten this guy down at all. Maybe that's leaking a little bit. I don't know. I'm not very familiar with the transmission. So here's that artichoke thing. It's not very wet, so I don't think this is the source of the leak. The actual drain plug is a little bit. That might be part of the problem, but I don't think it's the root cause because the oil comes quite a bit above it. I think this is the oil return line. It seems to be okay. Maybe it's worth changing. And it goes over there. It's pretty dry above. Overall, it's dry. Yeah, I don't think it's a problem. So here we are, right hand side, lower end of the engine. And this dang leak keeps going up. I replaced the valve cover and the CPV O-ring as well, so I don't think that's part of the problem. There's even a bit of oil in the engine mounts, which were replaced like 5 months ago. I don't know what the heck. Before I go to the front of the engine, let's go to the rear left of it. So it's a little bit drier, a little cleaner. I don't see a lot of oil or anything over there. It's not until we get to the bottom of the front subframe that we start seeing some of that residue, but I don't know how much is bleeding from the other side. The power steering stuff seems to be kind of bad. So the reservoir I had to fill up not too long ago. I cleaned it up and now it's all wet again. I think I'm just gonna have to replace that reservoir. And you see, I don't know what pipe is what yet, but this one is pretty junky looking. So I don't know if that hose, it seems like a good hose, but maybe it's leaky. I don't know. And then we have the other hose, but it kind of stops. Doesn't get quite as wet. But maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just the reservoir that's leaking. It has to leak somewhere, and that's going to go down the hose, and the hose is probably actually fine. Not 100% sure. Here's the, I think, high pressure lines for the power steering pump, and it gets very dirty. So this is sticky looking stuff. I don't think is fresh. But is it worth changing the lines? I'm about to do rod bearings, so this would be a good time to do it. Everything else is pretty dry there. This is all somewhat dry. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to the right side of the engine, going from the bottom up. So here you see on the bell housing some leaks. Okay, now we're going to the subframe. The rack is super wet, but I think that's oil, not power steering. Got a compressor in there. So I don't know. I don't think it's a oil pan housing gasket that's going to be replaced, but I don't think it's the root cause. Because it does go above it. See, all the way above. I don't know how much of that is left over from the valve cover gasket. I didn't do the best job cleaning up after that job. And that's the source of my pain here, trying to figure out what's fresh. I'm just going by what looks the most wet. I have no idea what this thing is, but it's dripping some oil. No idea what that is. Need to look that up. So let's see, from here I can see the timing chain tensioner. No. Kind of. But it's blocked. You can kind of see right there, timing chain tensioner. It's hard to get. It's at the bottom left corner. And it does have some oil dripping out of it. So I did buy that crush gasket. I'm going to replace not the whole unit, but the gasket itself. Let me try to get a better angle here. Let me get my bearings. There it is. But the problem here, guys, is the oil is above and below and all around it, so I don't know how much of that is actually due to the timing chain gasket or not. It does look like a drip coming through. And what's above that? You got the vanos, which looks dry, I'll show you later, and you got the valve cover gasket, and that looks pretty good. I replaced it 5 months ago, so I hope it's not leaky again. And it's from the front. I think most leaks with the valve cover gasket are from the rear seam. Okay, now we're above. We're on the right side of the engine. Took the fan shroud off to show you. So we got, let me zoom out. We got the vanos return, I think, line. People say that tends to go out and have leaks, but it seems to be fine. Again, the oil seems to be coming above. I don't know how fresh that is, but that's leaking. Sorry, the video cut out when I hit a hose with the phone. So here's the timing chain tensioner, and it's pretty gross all around it, so I don't know what the heck could be leaking above it. That'll get replaced as well, but I'm trying to figure out exactly what else it could replace. So that's it on the right hand side. Let me just show you. That's a little bit wet, but that's above, so I don't know how much of that is truly. The valve cover gasket replaced 4 or 5 months ago, so I don't think that'd be part of the problem. I hope. I'll keep an eye on that though. Here's the oil cooler. For M3s, the oil filter housing gasket doesn't seem to be that big of a problem. I don't think that's the source of my leak here. Everything seems to be somewhat, it's gunky but dry. Maybe I'm looking through the wrong angle, but that seems to be fine. I have the part, might replace it, but yeah. So here you go. Here's the power steering reservoir, and I had to fill it up not too long ago, and it's kind of gunky on the. I cleaned up the reservoir. I don't know. Do I need to replace the entire canister, or can I just get it by with replacing an O-ring? Maybe opportunity cost. It'll be wide open. I might as well change it. But aside from that, I don't know what else to replace. Is it worth replacing all the hoses? It's gonna be a pricey job if I just say, hey, replace everything, but maybe it's worth a long term if it could potentially fail. Yeah, if you guys could help me out, that'd be very, very appreciated. It's a tough one to crack. It'd be nice to not have to buy a new everything and still have a leaky car. Thanks.